Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of Oxbridge Study Secrets. This episode is about why we all need to get more sleep. And I'm sure that some of you guys are rolling your eyes right now, because I know I was when I was 15 or 16 years old. I was sick and tired of my parents telling me to sleep earlier and to get more sleep. I just couldn't stand it. But at the same time, I was also getting sick and tired of turning up to school every day feeling exhausted and not being able to think straight at all. I really hate to say it, but our parents were onto something when they talked about us getting more sleep. But it's only now that I really get the science behind it that it makes more sense to me. Thankfully, we're not going to go into that science in this video. I just want to talk about what happens when we don't sleep enough and how studies have actually shown that more sleep can actually translate to improved exam grades. But before we do that, I want to address something I came across at Cambridge called the student life triangle. And I'm sure it exists at other universities too. Basically what it is a triangle with a heading on each corner, right? On top we have studying or good grades. Then we have social life and sports and recreational activities. And then we have enough sleep. And then in the middle of this triangle, it says, pick 2 of these. Now guys, take a guess which 2 of these students go for, right? For many of us, sleep is the first of these things to be sacrificed. Why? Because everyone else around us is working hard and playing hard, studying in the day and partying at night. And then, burning out? Because the sleep deprivation finally catches up to them. Guys, the truth is that we need to change the student life triangle idea for 2 huge reasons. Because it just isn't sustainable. And here's why we need to change it. First of all, it is entirely possible to balance these 3 components of the triangle. And just because someone else wasn't willing to put in the effort to balance them, it doesn't mean that we should believe that we're doomed to the same fate as them. Just because they couldn't do it or they accepted what was the social norm, it doesn't mean that we have to be a slave to that same concept. And secondly, guys, getting enough sleep is linked to both achieving those higher grades and maintaining good health and high energy levels that allow us to fully enjoy social and recreational activities. Right? Let's talk a bit about sleep deprivation. Because sleep deprivation and feeling sleepy have such negative effects on cognitive performance, our mood, our response times, our attention, and our concentration span. Even being partially sleep deprived has been found to reduce our attention span and our working memory, which are the processes that are used to temporarily store and manipulate the information we're trying to learn. Now guys, think about that. If we're even partially sleep deprived, we just can't learn as effectively. We can't study as effectively. We won't perform in tests effectively. It makes perfect sense. Even worse, we consume more calorie-dense junk foods, high sugar and high fat foods when we're sleep deprived because of this innate desire for quick sources of fuel when we're tired. But, as well as leading to sugar crash symptoms, which make us less productive and less focused and more irritable, we gain weight. And I know that's something that none of us want. So, what can more sleep do for us? A study conducted in Belgium on 621 first-year university students actually assessed the quality of their sleep during the exam period against their exam performance. And what it showed was that students who slept 7 hours per night during the exam period scored an average of 1.7 points higher on a scale of 20 on their exams than their peers who got only 6 hours of sleep. Guys, the study has just shown you that 7 hours will get you better grades than 6 hours. And in truth, most of us function best between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And I really recommend that you find out for yourself what's best for you by tracking your sleep for a short period. You can use wearable devices like Fitbit or an Oura Ring, or you can even use phone apps like Sleep Cycle, though definitely use flight mode if you use apps like that. But basically what we do with this is we start to track our sleep by looking at the time that we sleep, the number of hours that we sleep for, and the quality of our sleep, and then compare them with our energy levels throughout the day. This will help us to really experimentally determine our optimum time and amount of sleep, and also identify what factors might be influencing the quality of our sleep. Now, obviously due to the countless number of variables that change from day to day, it's kind of impossible to keep them constant enough to draw concrete conclusions about the exact factors that influence our sleep. But given enough time, we can still identify general trends that apply for us. I know some of my findings from over 6 years of using the Sleep Cycle iPhone application and 3 years of using a jawbone up bracelet, which don't exist anymore, back when they existed. These are the things that I found. You know, first of all, I found that for me, sleeping between 7 hours and 45 minutes and 8.5 hours a night resulted in the highest energy levels for me during the day. Anything less than this and I'd really feel like taking an early afternoon power nap. Anything more and I'd feel really sluggish until I did some exercise later in the day. Because it's true, too much sleep will make you sluggish. The other thing that I found out was for the same duration of sleep, which I actually tested with 7 hours and 45 minutes, my sleep quality was higher when I slept before midnight. Whereas if I slept after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning, sleeping for the same amount of time, I felt groggier and more sluggish during the day. So it's really important to keep that in mind. Third thing I found was that my sleep quality was higher on days where I engaged in more than 1 hour of physical activity and sport. So if you want to sleep better, maybe it's worth trying to do some more exercise. And the fourth thing, and this was really important for me, was that my sleep quality was lower when I had a heavy meal 2 to 3 hours before sleeping and I still felt full when I went into bed. Guys, this is so important to keep in mind. A lot of us snack before we sleep, or we eat big meals just a few hours before we go and sleep. And it can make such a huge difference to our sleep quality. Honestly, I don't think any of these things I've shared with you are surprising, but it was still so powerful for me to discover it for myself by experimenting with it. In the end, it's all about optimizing the quality of our lives, you know? Because the better we sleep, the more energy we have to study efficiently, enjoy the time we spend with our friends, and we focus better to perform in our sports, our music, our YouTube video watching, and all the other recreational activities that we do. Guys, that's it for now. I really hope this video has conveyed how important sleep really is, and why we should never tell our parents that we're sleeping more now, because they're just going to say, I told you so, and no one wants that. But it really is in our benefit to still try to get more sleep, to sleep earlier, and to be more careful about how we kind of create our environment in which we go to sleep in terms of what we eat and how we exercise. Guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and drop me a message in the comments or on social media. I really appreciate it. Until next time, keep growing, keep striving, keep shining.